Władysław the Short or Elbow-high was a king of Poland. He was a duke until 1300, and Prince of Kraków from 1305 until his coronation as king on the 20th of January 1320. Because of his short height he was nicknamed Łokietek, a diminutive of the word łokieć. It translates as L or elbow, a medieval measure of length, as in elbow high. Background: in 1138, the Kingdom of Poland, which had been growing in strength under the rule of the ISNI dynasty, encountered an obstacle which impeded its development for nearly 200 years. In the will of King Władysław III, Poland was divided into 5 provinces: Silesia, Mazovia with eastern Kuyavia, Greater Poland, the Sandomierz region, and the Seniorate province. The Seniorate province initially comprised Kraków and western Lesser Poland, eastern Greater Poland including Gniezno and Kalisz, western Kuyavia, Lechicka and Sieradz, and with Pomerania as a fiefdom. To prevent his 4 sons from quarreling, Władysław granted 1 province to each of them, while the Seniorate province was to be given to the eldest brother on the grounds of primogeniture. This decision was meant to forestall dynastic feuds and prevent the disintegration of the kingdom. However, it proved inadequate, and began nearly 2 centuries of what it had sought to counteract: constant fighting and disorder. Władysław I succeeded in reuniting most of these lands back into the Kingdom of Poland. Life: Władysław was born circa 1260 as the 3rd son of Casimir I of Kuyavia, Duke of Kuyavia, Lechicka, and Sieradz. He was the eldest son of Casimir's 3rd wife, but he had 2 elder half-brothers from his father's 2nd wife, Leszek II the Black and Zimumizl. Leszek assumed the Duchy of Sieradz from the father in 1261, and after the father's death in 1267, Zimumizl inherited Kuyavia. However, following the deaths of both brothers, the entire inheritance passed to Władysław, who began the task of reuniting the Kingdom of Poland. His next step was winning Lesser Poland, for which he had to contest the local prince, Przemysl II. Following Przemysl's death in 1296, Władysław proclaimed himself his successor and established himself in Lesser Poland, as well as Pomerania. While Władysław enjoyed the support of the Lesser Polish peasants, knights, and part of the clergy, who preferred a prince from the domestic ISNI dynasty, he had to defer Wenceslaus II of Bohemia, who had the support of the local lords. In 1304, Władysław entered and occupied Lesser Poland with an army of his supporters, which, according to the 15th-century historian Jan Długosz, consisted of more peasants than knights. He also conquered Pomerania around Gdansk, but since he did not win the favor of the local lords and settlers from Brandenburg who had migrated to that area, he was forced to give up the idea of complete control of the Baltic coast. By 1311, Władysław was in power in Lesser Poland and his Kuyavian patrimony. Despite the rebellion of Wojt Albert in Kraków and Sandomierz, he was able to hold these cities thanks to the support of the nobility, gentry and townsfolk. 3 years later, Greater Poland also came under his rule. However, John of Luxembourg, King of Bohemia, also claimed the Polish crown. In alliance with the Teutonic Order, he attacked Władysław's forces from the north and west, while the Brandenburgians attempted to capture Greater Poland. Nonetheless, Władysław managed to maintain his dominions. In 1318, he embarked on a coronation campaign. The Pope, though initially unwilling, finally granted his approval and Władysław was crowned King of Poland on 30th of January 1320 in Kraków. The coronation was a sign that he had overcome Poland's internal fragmentation and reunited the country as an independent kingdom under his rule. A Polish-Teutonic War occupied Władysław's last years. On the 27th of September 1331 he fought the Battle of Plough-Chay in Kujawia against a group of Teutonic knights. Other groups of enemies withdrew to the north. After numerous casualties the armies were stalemated, though Władysław's forces conquered the field, captured some prisoners and stopped the expansion of the Teutonic order in the region. Władysław endeavored to establish a uniform legal code throughout the land. In this code he assured the safety and freedom of Jews and placed them on an equal footing with Christians. Władysław died on the 2nd of March 1333 in Kraków. His son, Casimir III the Great, inherited Lesser Poland, the Duchy of Sandomierz, Greater Poland, Kujawia, and the Duchies of Łokietek and Sieradz. However, Silesia and Lubusz land to the west, along with Gdansk, Pomerania, Western Pomerania, and Mazovia to the north, still remained outside the kingdom's borders. Nevertheless, Władysław's reign was a major step on the road to restoration of the Kingdom of Poland. Royal titles. Title before coronation: Władysław Dei Gracia, Dux Regni Poloniae Dominus Pomeraniae, Quiavi, Lancia I Axaradi. English translation: Władysław, by the grace of God, Duke of the Kingdom of Poland, and Lord of Pomerania, Kujawia, Łokietek and Sieradz. Royal title after coronation: Władysław Dei Gracia, Rex Poloniae Dominus Pomeraniae, Quiavi, Lancia I Axaradi. English translation: Władysław, by the grace of God, King of Poland, and Lord of Pomerania, Kujawia, Łokietek and Sieradz. Later histories refer to him also as Władysław I via Władysław I. There are no records to show that he actually used any regnal number. Both numerals are retrospective assignments by later historians. IV comes from him being the fourth of that name to rule as overlord of the Polish, since Władysław I Herman. I comes from him having restored the monarchy after a fragmented era of a century or more, and also backwards counting from Władysław of Varna who officially used the numeral 3 and Władysław Vasa who used the numeral IV. Family. In 1293, Władysław married Hedwig of Kalisz. She was a daughter of Bolesław of Greater Poland and Jolanta of Hungary. They had 6 children: Stephen of Poland, Władysław of Poland, Kunigund of Poland, married first Bernard of Widnica. The children included Bolko II of Widnica, married secondly Rudolf I, Duke of Saxe-Wittenberg, Elizabeth of Poland, married Charles I of Hungary, Casimir III of Poland, Hedwig of Poland. Ancestors. Gallery.